So, being that you've been through all cycles of the business, what would be your suggestion or advice to an aspiring entrepreneur?
Be ready to work harder than you even thought you were going to have to. Be ready to persevere things that you could never imagine were going to happen. And then for me, I kind of mentioned this. I always tell people, if you're the person starting the business and you have the vision, you have to trust your gut, because I listened to the VCs in those early days telling me to be a .com, telling me to hire these expensive executives, and those are things that almost killed us. We almost didn't make it. And it's great to take advice, but you got to trust yourself a lot as well. And I listened to other people a little too much in the beginning.
So you're probably one of a handful, maybe more, but I don't think so, who has started a company in Denver, grew it nationally, and now have gone globally with several hundred locations. At least I think you are. What is one of the greatest lessons you've learned in doing that? Franchising that model, growing a model to that magnitude.
Yeah, so the franchising experience has been interesting for us. We grew like crazy because of it, but I would not say it's been our best experience. Our franchise locations underperform our corporate locations. I have a team of people right across the street here that show up every day and really work hard to drive our business. And there's been a lot of headaches on the franchise side, and we're buying them back. So I don't regret it, because we got to be number one in the world because of franchising. But now we have the ability to try to unwind that and roll it back in. Our corporate centers significantly outperform our franchises, and we're working to shift it back. Probably the biggest thing.
So what would you like either your personal legacy to be or that of your company?
Well, that's a great question. It's kind of both, in that we have created, I don't know how many first babies and first houses, because we hire young golf pros. We have 800 golf pros that work for us, and most of them come to us right out of college or earlier in their career. We actually were going to try to quantify this at one time, and we gave up. But I can't tell you how many first homes and families were started by people coming and building their career with us, and that's hopefully something that we're remembered for a really long time, the opportunities.
That's awesome. What questions do you all have? Yes, Nicole?
Yes, have you thought about like doing it in places like Colorado even, at golf courses on a, not to a major extent, but more smaller, to where they could go into the clubhouse on a snowy or rainy day and work on their, have you ever thought about doing it more small resorts?
Let me just repeat it just to make sure we get it.
Oh, sorry.
So the question is, have you ever thought about doing a smaller version on golf courses and clubhouses versus actually a retail type location?
Yep. So we do that. We have 6 of them at golf courses right now, and we would like to do a lot more. Our key to picking locations so far has been office buildings. So
Corporate?
Daytime employment, to give you the real estate demographic. Where executives are during the day, we've got to be convenient. We've got to be right down a block over. But as we go to double our store count in the U.S., we're moving out to the suburbs more, and we're finding that some of the best places in the suburbs are at the golf courses. So we have a template building we built that has 3 bays, and then the door actually the net rolls up, and you can hit out to the driving range if you want, or the net can come down. We have 2 that don't even go to the outside. They're just 100% inside the clubhouse building. And that will be definitely part of our future growth as we move to the suburbs.
What kind of pricing is that?
Well, we
What kind
asked
of pricing is that?
We asked them to build the building for us, because if it doesn't work, I don't want a building on someone else's golf course. So we pay them nice rent so they get a good return, but we ask them to build the buildings for us.
What are the questions? Yes.
So now that you're with GDO, does that mean you're looking at maybe going back into kiosks like in the malls and the airports and stuff like that?
It's all going to be right here now.
What's that?
It's all going to be right here. Go ahead.
I just want to make sure I get it recorded. So now that we're GDO, are you thinking about going back into kiosks and malls and different things like that? And your answer?
So we've moved past that. It will be just the camera on your phone via our mobile app. And then we are working on a AI software that can take the video image and automatically analyze it and send you your analysis back.
Oh, wow.
So I don't need a warehouse full of golf pros. I just needed some servers. So we have, I don't know if I mentioned this, we have a 15-person software development business that we own. That's mainly in Vietnam. And that's probably going to be a couple-year development project. But we're starting to work on video-based motion measurement, not needing the sensors. And then we can do it via your phone. Then we can be anywhere.
Yes, we'll get back in a second.
One of the firms that seems to be doing well in the fall and the winter is Top Golf. Have you ever thought about working with them or getting bigger, like that kind of a space or venue?
So I'm not.
So, just one second, sorry.
Sorry. I'm so excited.
He's used to it, I'll tell you. So the question is, one of the groups that seems to do well is Top Golf in the winter, and have you thought of working with them or growing to that magnitude?
So Top Golf is doing great. We're huge fans of theirs. It costs about $20 million to build one Top Golf. So we're not going to go try to tackle something like that. But we have had some discussion with them about putting GolfTecs in the Top Golf.
Right.
But there's a bit of a experience mismatch. We are serious about making people good golfers, and they are serious about throwing a party. And they don't deny that. They, if you go to Top Golf headquarters, their meetings are about guest DJs and the drink of the week and throwing a party. And we really want to make you better doesn't fit as well. So I talk to their CEO all the time. We like each other. We like to figure out how to do something. I don't know if it's going to work or not.
That was a very politically correct response. Because we have some Top Golf champions in the room.
I love
mean,
Top Golf.
champions. You should
Yeah.
see them. We had a question over here. Yeah.
From a leadership standpoint, when you talk about your franchises underperforming versus your corporate locations, what do you think the main cause of that is?
They deviate from our business model. The more they think they're improving, the more their sales go down, the more they change things. We bought one in October, and it's for 10 years. It was a bottom 20% location. This month, it's number 1 in our whole system. We've only owned it for 4 months, but we changed all the things they were doing wrong, and we just do it the way it's supposed to be done, and it's amazing how fast it
It's a novel concept. I like it. Michael, you had a question?
I'm curious, I've never seen GolfTec logo on TV on the LPGA or the PGA Tour.
Yep.
Do you have any presence there with clothing or match or anything? If not, why?
Sorry. We're going to work through this. So the question is, he's never seen the logo or marketing and a lot of the different things. What is your thoughts on that, and why not?
So we think there's too much risk. So the issue is if somebody shoots 80 with our logo on their visor, it could really be damaging to our business. So if you play bad with Ford or Toyota on your hat, people are still going to buy cars. But if you start playing bad, and it could be not our fault, right? You could be injured, going through a divorce, just having a bad week. But if a good player starts playing terrible and we're on their clothes, we think it could actually take us down. So we, as long as I'm in charge, we'll never sponsor a top-level player. We have talked about sponsoring celebrities who are known as golfers. So a Ray Romano or a John Elway, or people know that they're golfers, or golfers who no longer play anymore, like a Johnny Miller. He hasn't played where people are looking at his scores in a long time. So maybe some retired golfers, maybe some celebrities, but nobody actively playing. I think it's too risky.
So for those of you who dream to hit 80, he's not belittling you. There's still hope for you. And for those of us that are in the triple digits, we still have fun at Top
Like
Golf.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah. Question in the back, and then we'll get you. Hold on. Yep.
Quality swing instruction, physical fitness training, club fitting. It seems when you listen to golfers speak, a lot of times they refer to how difficult the mental game is.
Right.
And you touched on it, didn't expound. But is GolfTec doing anything?
Not yet. So actually,
With
Man, you are quick, I'll tell you. Wow. So the question is, golf's a big mental game, and what are you doing on that side? You touched on it, but can you elaborate on the mental part of it?
sure. So it was technique is the T, E is your equipment, C is conditioning. We throw your whole body in conditioning. So your nutrition, your mental, your vision, your whole body. And to answer your question, we are not doing anything yet for any of the C. We're literally driving, we've had the name for 20 years, and we're number 1 in the world in the T. We're working hard to be #1 in the world in the E right now. I think we're probably a year from being recognized as the most dominant club seller in the world. And once we get there, we'll move to the C. I hate to do things mediocre. I only want to be great. And I think if we try to do the E and the C at the same time, we're going to screw them both up. So right now, all energy is on the E. And 20 years later, we're finally going to get to the C, and then it will encompass all of your body. We have a lot of mental people pitching us on their different ways to do it, and we're just keeping a list of good ideas right now. But right now, we are actually driving 0 on any part of the C. We believe in it, but we refer people out right now. We're not doing any of it, but the mental will be part of it.
Yes, good question.
Yeah, my question is, golf's probably the most scalable with people, with the amount of people and different varieties of people who play, but with all the proprietary technology and sensors, have you thought about going into other sports to do the similar things?
So the question is, golf is very scalable, given all the people that it touches, but have you thought about going into other sports as well?
So we have some patents on our technology, and our patents specifically say athletic motion. You won't see the word golf in our patents anywhere. So they actually apply to, any other sports. Back to the be great, don't be mediocre. We think if we try 4 other sports, we'll be too diluted in our focus. So we've been close to the finish line on just selling the license to baseball or tennis or some other things. But we have 200 locations. We think the world can hold 750. I'm chasing that for a while before I worry about other sports right now. But it's on our mind, and we have the patents covering it.
Yes.
Nicole.
Nicole, and then we'll get back over here.
Would you like to sell more franchises, and if so, how much will they cost?
Would you like to sell more franchises, and if so, how much will they cost?
We're not selling franchises.
Okay.
We're
Buying 'em
owning
back.
everything ourselves. We're buying them back. We're trying to unwind franchising.
No amount of money you would sell.
Look at her trying to cut a deal. I love it. Oh, here. Yep.
Could you talk about your decision process when you're looking at cash flow versus expansion?
So can you talk about your decision process when it comes to cash flow versus expansion?
So we're fortunate that we have pretty good cash flow to fuel a lot of our expansion. My new partner wants to fuel it even beyond that. So we always model 18 months out, our balance sheet, and we have a minimum cushion that we never go below. And so every month we add 1 more month. So we know if we have a bad month for a reason, if we're going to have a risk forward. But then otherwise, we basically reinvest every dollar we can above our cushion, forecast it out to make sure we keep growing. So I have a budget this year to add 27 centers that we own. And when I say that, I can either build new ones or I can buy back a franchise. But the corporate-owned portfolio, but then that's only probably half our CapEx. The rest is software development and new cameras and all these other things. But is that?
In the early days when you were just
How about in the early days when you were struggling?
So I'll tell you a funny story. So we weren't as nearly as sophisticated, and I didn't have a good CFO, and we were just winging it week by week. And I almost missing payroll all the time. And one time my controller quit, and I thought we had like $75,000. I called the bank, and we had like $2,000, and it was just a mess. But here's my funny story. So when we were getting going, we were in Denver, Dallas, Chicago, and Atlanta. And we decided to, and we were getting ready to open in LA. So we decided to print a golf towel with all of our locations, kind of like a concert T-shirt or whatever, like listing these cities. So we did it all, and we put LA on there, but we ran out of money, and we never got open. And we didn't get open in LA till 4 years later. And we're like, hey, the towel's finally accurate. We had these towels with LA on it, then we never made it. So it was really based just purely on cash in the bank back then, and now it's a little different.
I love it. Let's finish up with 2 questions. Make sure we get you all out of here. Kyle, you had a question, and then we'll get to you.
How do you approach culture in the workplace, whether at the individual locations or at corporate?
Yeah,
So how do you approach culture in the workplace, whether at the office or the individual locations?
So both, we're big on that. What we've done has never been done before, and we think our culture is a lot of what drove it. So we have an internal motto that never hits our advertising, but it's called GBOSH, which stands for Go Big or Stay Home. And our annual conference is called GBOSH. Our annual awards dinner is called GBOSH. We sign off emails GBOSH. It's kind of in our corporate office, our main hallway is G-Bosch Hall, and it's woven into everything we do. And then we have a very sales-driven culture that we make sure our coaches know not to oversell somebody, but we don't pay the bills if we don't sell anything. And so make sure they understand how to drive our business. It starts with me. It starts with celebrating with Silver Oak at 8 in the morning when we had our best year ever. And then it flows down through our office and then all the way through to all of our coaches. We do, when you get hired by us, it doesn't matter if you're the greatest golf instructor in the world, you have to come to GolfTec University. It's a month long. We test, we fail people, but when you get through, you are certified as a GolfTec instructor. I give a 2-hour talk to that group every single one. We're going to hire 175 new coaches this year. Every one will get the 2-hour speech from me on our vision and our mission. So we make sure it starts at the top and flows all the way down.
Great. And Chuck, we'll finish up with you. Sorry, Alex, but.
As the CEO of a private company that got started, to anybody else who's interested in getting to where you've gotten to, you've grown to a point now where you're getting involved with a public company. How much control will you keep or could you lose because it becomes an issue for people and opportunities as they grow?
So the question is, going from an entrepreneurial environment and now having this new partner, what is that like, giving up control if you've had to at all? And
So my new partner had a small stake, 8%, in my business for 4 years prior, and they've been had one seat on my board for 4 years prior. So they know us, we know them, but more importantly, they know and knew our plan, and they 100% believe in our plan, and they're backing 100% our plan. If you talk to our coaches at our 200 locations, they don't even know anything. I mean, they don't feel a change at all. It's zero change. And then we have a lot of protections in place from a control standpoint. It's not anything I lose sleep over. It's a great partnership and nothing I'm worried about. But it was very seamless because they've been a small investor for 4 years prior and knew the plan.
let's give Joe a round of applause.